Hey guys, I'm gonna work out a few problems from the homework yesterday and kind of help you out with this. So when you have a problem like this and it says expand, well notice I have log base 8, and then on the numerator I have 4 times x, and on the denominator I have y squared. So the first thing you're going to deal with is that division sign. Okay. So remember, when I'm expanding, division becomes subtraction. So the first thing I'm going to have is I'm going to have a log base 8 of the numerator, so the numerator is 4x, minus log base 8 of the denominator. Now if you stop there, you didn't finish, okay, but that is a good step. So when we have something that has like a fraction here, 9 times out of 10, and I'll go ahead and tell you for your sakes, if you do have something with division, that's always going to be the first thing you're going to do. That division is going to become subtraction. Okay, now next, there's a couple things. First off, I have a squared here, so that 2 can jump out to the front. So anytime you have a exponent here. Now, I can only do that if the exponent applies to everything in the argument. So if there, for instance, if it was 3y squared, I couldn't bring that 2 out because the 2 only applies to the y and not the whole thing. So some of y'all are making that mistake, and I'll show you when I get to the other problems. But also here we have in the argument, this is the argument, 4 times x, meaning they're multiplying together. Well, remember, multiplication becomes addition. So I'm actually going to separate this whole thing here. So log base 8 of 4 plus log base 8 of x. So because I'm multiplying 4 times x, I can separate that into 2 different logs, one with a 4 and one with the x, and make sure I'm adding them. So remember, multiplication becomes addition. As we said earlier, division becomes subtraction. And then if you have an exponent, it comes up to the front. So minus 2 log base 8 of y. And this is the type of answer I'm looking for here. So let's do another one. So yeah, I'll do the condensing one. All right, so it says condense the following logs. So what I will tell you is when you're condensing, the first thing you want to do is if there's anything up front, go ahead and make that the exponent here. So this would actually be log base 4 of y to the third. And then this is just going to come down, so log base 4 of 8x. So I'm just bringing that down. Plus, okay. So the first thing you're going to do is if there's any number in front, you're going to make it an exponent. So you're kind of working backwards from when you're asked to expand. And then remember, addition becomes multiplication. So what I'm going to be multiplying is this argument times this argument. So I'll come all the way down here. But it's going to become one argument, or sorry, one log, so log base 4. And I'm just going to multiply 8x times y to the third. So the way I multiply those is I just write them all together. Okay. And then that would be what I'm looking for there. So the difference here is if you see a number up front when you're condensing, move that to an exponent. Whereas if I was asking to expand, I would do the other way around. Usually when you're condensing, that's your first step, making a number in front called the coefficient an exponent. Whereas when you're asked to expand, it's usually the last thing you do is move an exponent to the front. So just want to throw that out there. And then I'll do the last problem here just to kind of help you out. Now what you'll notice here is I am multiplying a bunch of things. So now I cannot move that 2 up to the front. And the reason I can't is because that 2 only applies to the x. It doesn't apply to everything here. So again, I can only move an exponent to the front when it applies to everything in the argument, and it doesn't here. But what I know I'm doing here is 12 times x squared times y to the third. So because I'm multiplying these three different things in the argument, I can change that to addition. So remember, multiplication becomes addition. So log base 4 of 12 plus log base 4 of x squared plus log base 4 of y to the third. So that's the first thing. And notice, because I'm expanding, what I said before, usually the last thing you're going to do when you're expanding is if there's any exponent, that exponent's going to go up to the front. So you're going to get a 2 there, that disappears, this is going to go in the front, and then that disappears. So your final answer would be log base 4 of 12 plus 2 log base 4 of x, again this is gone, plus 3 log base 4 of y. Okay, and then that would be the final answer there. So hopefully this helps. You'll have another review on Wednesday, and then your last test portion will be Thursday.